All right, Ross, let's talk a little bit about, I said this to you, and you can run with this, trading hearts versus your mind. Sometimes, we talk about contextualizing markets all the time. Big picture, I'm bearish with everybody else. We got massive inflation. We have printing of money. We have political unrest everywhere. Food being, people starving around the rest of the world. And even now, even my local paper is talking about expenses in food and coffee and everything going up. So, but as a trader, we have to come in every day and push that aside, our heart, if you will, and trade with our minds and what we see. So talk to me a little bit about that, because you've been through now a little bit of, as you said, you started this business when the cycle was on a big downswing. Now we're on a big upswing. So you've had two big moves, and you really haven't had, say, a flat market, and that'll be a whole nother experience for you, which I wouldn't wish upon anybody. But a flat market, as a trader is concerned, is actually a little easier because you're up one day and you're down one day and you're just a day trader. You're coming in and it's moving at least. This market is a one-way market. We're all up or we're all down, and that's how it's been. So how do you get your mind into the right frame so your heart and your big picture thoughts don't skew and overwhelm you?
I think for me, I have trouble, but the best thing that I can do is trade mechanically to try to remove the bearish feelings or the doubts about the prudence, say, of buying new highs with the mechanics of, well, the best trade I have today is to see what kind of price discovery we'll have if we get above yesterday's high, instead of sort of saying, all right, well, this isn't the trade I want to take. Let me see when things slow down, and maybe I'll try to short a pullback, because that's the trade that I want to take. It's not the trade that you want. It's the trade that's there. It's about doing the right thing instead of doing what feels right, because depending on how personally, just knowing what my trading development has been like, doing what feels right is oftentimes not the right trade for me, or not the best risk reward opportunity in the market. But if I neglect my best idea in the morning, and then I see the market is ratcheting higher and my best idea was to buy, and then I start looking at the short side because, well, I didn't take my long, so now I look the other way, but it's not there.
Right.
So that's a bad habit for me, and I think it's common for anybody who regrets not taking their best idea, because now they have to find a new best idea.
Well,
go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, it's the whole missed trade concept that I came up with. You missed it. You missed what you had planned, didn't execute on your plan, and so now you're like, again, it's that emotion comes into it, and you're like, okay, I need to make the next trade because I was right, and now I'm even, it's like a double-edged sword. I was right and I didn't take the trade. So I got to get even. It's that revenge feeling again. I got to get back into the market. Now I was long and it was right. So now it's got to be a short, as you said. When I was short, now I've got to be a long. I'm just going against myself, and I'm having this internal conversation that makes no sense when I sit and do that. One of the things I find, Ross, that I need to do when that happens, and it happens. As I said, it happens, and I've got to walk away from the screen. Because I know I need to clear my head. For me, it's almost like taking an Etch-a-Sketch. If I walk away from a screen and go around the block, just get away, don't take my quotes with me on my handheld, because it's too easy to do all that now, but literally turn it off for 15 minutes, pause, refresh, wash that Etch-a-Sketch. Now I can come back, and I always like to tell myself, let's look at the market right where we are today. If I had no position, what would I be? Would I be already in a trade? Possibly. Would I be long, short? Would I be waiting for one or the other? Those are kind of my options. And that always helps me, is just to walk away from the screen. And sometimes even after I put on a trade, I like to, put my stop in and not try to over control the trade.
I think that's a underestimated skill that you have, because it's depending on how you tolerate risk or how tight your risk is, it gets really hard to walk away. It gets hard to turn the dome off when your trade's on. And we talked about before, that dome vertigo, that back and forth of price can really mess with your conviction, and it can get you into trades that you might not necessarily want to be in if you looked at the chart and said, okay, well, am I shorting this up here because somebody just flashed 400 on the offer, or am I shorting up here because it looks like the chart's going to break and we're going to do some price discovery on the downside?
Right. Absolutely true.
You got to keep your emotions in check and keep your plan first and foremost, and remember that the market is going to tell you if you're wrong.
Right.
Okay, but you can also sabotage your results by not letting the market do its job, or allowing things that are not important factors to your trade to influence when you exit and enter the market.
Right. Absolutely true.